Hello friends, welcome to this video lesson. Today we are going to discuss another topic from your course. The title of today's discussion is Personality and its Educational Implications. Before starting our discussion, let me to introduce myself. I, Dr. Niradhar, Associate Professor, School of Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University, welcome you all to this video lesson. Friends, as you know that presently we are in the 16th module of your course. The title of the module is Understanding Socio-Psychological Attributes, and in this module 6 different lessons are there, just like intelligence, aptitude, creativity, motivation, attitude and personality. In our earlier sessions already we have discussed 5 different lessons, that is intelligence and its educational implications, accordingly aptitude, creativity, motivation and attitude and its educational implications. And today in this session we are going to discuss the last session from this module, that is personality and its educational implications. We will try to understand in this session what is the concept of personality, what are the different types and theories of personalities there, and further we will also try to understand that how personality of a person can be measured, and definitely we will be discussing educational implications of the trait that is personality. Before starting our discussion, let me to focus upon some of the learning outcomes. After going through this video lesson and the part content of your course that is included in the 16th module, specially relating to the concept of personality, you will be able to name different socio-psychological attributes of the children. Further, you will be able to explain the concept of personality as a socio-psychological attribute. Then you will be able to explain different types and theories of personality. You will be able to discuss the techniques of measurement of personality, that how you can measure personality of a person. Then further you will be able to discuss educational implications of personality as a socio-psychological attribute. I am very much hopeful that after going through this video and the part content, surely you will achieve these learning outcomes. Now let us focus upon different socio-psychological attributes. Just to recapitulate our earlier sessions that we have taken, these are the some of the socio-psychological attributes. They are just like intelligence, aptitude, creativity, motivation, attitude and personality. Friends, these are the attributes that helps the individual to construct their personality, then accordingly to behave in different situations. Okay. The situation may be a classroom situation, maybe with the peers, with the friends, or it may be home based situation, or it may be a situation in your society or in your community life. Okay. If I will give the example of your academic discourses, that means when you are a student in a school and now you are a student in higher education system. So, what you are doing, you must have gone through this concept. Okay. So, for understanding a concept, for understanding the courses directly or indirectly, your intelligence, it requires your intelligence, and your intelligence help you to understand the critical concept of the content. Then accordingly the potential abilities of the individual, that abilities we do not know, but if the child will get certain support, then the potential abilities will transform as an action. Okay. So, that is why aptitude is also another important socio-psychological attribute, that also we have discussed. At the same time, creativity, for creating certain new thing, for doing certain innovative thing, So, that is why creativity is also another important aspect, that is the socio-psychological attribute we have already discussed. Then accordingly motivation, especially in the teaching learning process, in the schooling process, in education, motivation takes a very important place so far as dealing the student is concerned. You must have experienced that your teacher were motivating the students by putting certain examples, certain case studies, and by illustrating certain things. Okay. Because if the students, if the learners will not get proper motivation, then the very learning outcomes, very objectives, very aim of study may not be achieved. And further attitude, a positive attitude is required, a favorable attitude is required for doing a work. So, that is why this is also another socio-psychological attribute. And further in this session we are going to discuss about the personality. We will try to understand that what are the different types of personalities are there among the people, among the children, and how the children, how the learner, how the students exhibit and practice those personalities for doing their work, for dealing people, for dealing a type of situation and event. Now, let us go forward to understand the very concept of personality. In a very simple language, we understand personality is the totality of everything about an individual that includes his or her social, emotional, mental, ethical and spiritual aspects or spiritual life. Try to understand. So, personality, it includes totality of everything about our life, about you can say the functioning of a person, of an individual. It includes his or her social behavior, it includes emotional behavior, it includes our mental operations, our mental functioning, our mental abilities. At the same time, it also includes our ethical dealing, our ethical behavior, at the same time our spiritual concept. Okay. So, that is why starting from our social behavior, it includes the mental aspect, the emotional aspect, the moral and ethical aspects, at the same time which is very abstract in nature, that is the spiritual understanding or the spiritual aspect of an individual. So, that is why we can say that it includes everything to understand a person about the personality. Further, the term personality is derived from the Latin word that is called as persona, which means the mask worn by the then Roman actors who were acting on the stage. So, persona is just like a mask. That means here the individual is having a real personality, but according to the situation, according to the need of the time, you must have observed that a person behave differently. Why it is so? So, we can say that it is because of different types of personality of the person. Further, you will be elaborating it, you will be discussing it. But literally I can say that the word personality has come from the word, the Latin word, that is persona, where the Roman actors, they were using it when they were acting. The term personality thus means outward appearance of the individual. So, friends, when we in a very layman language, when you understand personality, if you say that it is just like a persona, that means a persona is just the outward expression, outwards appearance of a person. But at the same time, there are many you can say inherent and internal qualities, internal behavior, that is called as the intrinsic behavior of a person, that also being a part of personality of a person. Okay. So, here we will be discussing outward as well as the inward appearance of a person. Friends, now let me to give certain definition of personality so that the concept will be more clear to you. As per J.P. Guilford is one of the psychologists, he has defined personality like this: an individual's personality is his unique pattern of traits. Try to understand. Already we have discussed some of the attributes, some of the traits of a person. Okay? We can say that let intelligence is a trait, achievement is a trait, aptitude, attitude, creativity are also traits. So, here individuals unique pattern of trait means how the intelligence is functioning within an individual, how the individual is developing his or her perception to understand a situation, to understand certain object, to understand certain things. At the same time, it is also unique pattern of our behavior, how we behave in different situations, how we behave to different person. And further, if I will give the example of another definition given by R.B. Kettle on personality. R.B. Kettle says that personality is that which permits a prediction of what a person will do in a given situation. So, the personality will predict the people that what type of behavior the person will exhibit, the person will show in certain situation. Okay? This is as per R.B. Kettle. And if I will give the example of the definition given by L.J. Cronbach. Cronbach says that character is not really a accumulation of separate habits and ideas. Character is embedded in the total structure of personality. So, friends, every individual is having different character. So, how they construct, how they develop this character. So, here it is nothing, it is the personality of a person that helps for the construction of character of a person. Further, if I will give the example of personality by IGNOU. IGNOU says that personality is the more or less stable and enduring of the organization of person's character, temperament, intellect and physique, which determine his unique adjustment to environment. Okay? So, friends, try to understand. Personality includes the enduring organization of person's character, then temperament. Every individual is having different temperament, and there is variations in intellect also. Your mental functioning, your intellect is something different from others, from your friend, from your peer group. Then for the physique, your physique is also different. So, friends, if you sum total of all these things, then it helps you, it helps the person for your unique adjustment to different environment or to different situation. So, this definition is given by IGNOU on personality. And now, if I will analyze these definitions given by this psychologist, certain features of personality come forward from these definitions. Okay? Just like personality of each individual is different and unique, every individual is having different personality, is having unique personality. You cannot say that because individual differences is there and we are different in our mental attribute and mental traits. Okay? So, accordingly, the personality pattern is also different. So, that is why personality of each individual is different and unique. Further, personality is the product of both hereditary and environmental factor. Many a time this question comes to our mind, what is the product of the personality? Okay. So, whether it is a hereditary product or whether it is an environmental product. Environmental product means whether we acquired personality after our birth by observing the situation, by observing you can say our society and our environment. So, here we can say that personality is the product of both hereditary, at the same time the environmental factor. That means some qualities of personality that we bring from our birth, from our heredity, okay, from our generations. That may be a type of temperament, that may be a type of behavioral pattern. And many a time we also learn that how to behave, how to exhibit ourselves, how to express ourselves, how to deal the people, how to deal in different situations. So, that is why this is also a product of environmental factor. Further, personality helps the individual to adjust to his or her own environment. School based experiences and activities influence personality of the person. So, friends, whatever we learn from the school, whatever we experience, the new things that we experience from the school, that also helps us for constructing our personality. Further, personality provides a complete view of individual's behavior, that is it includes the cognitive, affective and the psychomotor domain. So, friends, when I say about the personality of a person, it provides a complete view, a complete picture of the individual. So, when I say that the complete picture of the individual, that means it includes the cognitive aspect, affective aspect, at the same time the psychomotor aspect, the psychomotor development. Okay. So, cognitive development means it includes different aspects just like knowledge, understanding, application, analysis, synthesis, critical analysis. Okay. So, that is why all your when you are using your intellect and you are interpreting the things, definitely we can say that you are using the cognitive skills. And for the affective domain, it also part of the personality. That means how we perceive the things, our emotional development, our feeling, our attitude to accept certain things. Okay. So, this is something different from the cognitive development, from the cognitive domain. So, that is why it is also a part of one's personality, and at the same time that is called as the psychomotor domain, the third aspect of a person. Psychomotor domain means many a time the knowledge and understanding, the comprehension, application that we understand from a particular concept, and further our feeling aspect, our attitude is also involved in it. Then we try to do certain things, we try to develop certain skill, we try to develop certain motor activities, certain motor skills. So, that is why here knowledge and understanding, attitude, values, and at the same time our feeling, then further when we develop certain skill to do certain things, then we can say it is the complete view of a person, and that is the personality. Further, by using a suitable technique, personality can be assessed and described. I have already said that one of the learning outcome of this lesson is to understand that how personality can be measured, how personality can be assessed and described. Further, we will be discussing. Now, let us try to understand that what are the different types of personalities there. First of all, I can say that as per Spranger's classification of personalities, there Spranger has given 6 types of personality. They are called as aesthetic personality, economic personality, political personality, religious personality, social personality, as well as theoretical personality. Try to understand what is aesthetic personality. In this world, in this society, even if among your friends you will find that a group of your friends, they are very much aesthetic in nature, they are very much inclined towards creating certain things, they are very much inclined to you can say express the beauty of nature, express the beauty of certain literary creation. So, to understanding a creation, to appreciate it and also to express it, it may be the beauty of nature, it may be you can say the beauty of everything, that is called as it is a type of personality also, that is the aesthetic personality of a person. And the second is economic personality. That means many a time you must have observed that many of your friends, many of your peers, they are very much economical in nature. Okay. So, they understand that how they will spend, where they will spend, how much they will spend and for what purpose they will spend. They have a detailed understanding about the cost benefit. They have detailed understanding about earning and expenditure, and at the same time to save certain money also. So, they have good personality so far as managing the economic aspect. So, that is why it is also as per Spranger, this is also another type of personality. Then further political personality, that means you will find that a group of people in this world, they are very much inclined to understand the political ideas, the political parties, and they also involve themselves in different types of you can say political activities. They have the political intelligence, you can say. They understand the politics, they understand you can say the nature of you can say the political life. And for the religious personality, you will find that many people, they are very much religious in nature. What they do, they involve themselves in many religious activities and they get happiness by involving themselves in religious activities. So that type of personality is called as religious personality. And for the social personality, many a time you must have observed that a group of people in the society, they are very much acquainted and they are very much involved themselves for the cause of the development of the society, for the cause of bringing mobility in the society, for the cause of bringing changes in the society. Okay? So that's why many people you will find that their personality is very much social. That's called as social personality of a person. Then at the same time, theoretical personality, that means many a time you will find group of people, they are very much theoretical in nature, they are very much analytical in nature, they are very much analytical so far as different concepts. It may be related to your academic life, it may be related to other life also. So they develop certain principles, they develop certain theories, and at the same time they also try to practice those principles and theories. So these classifications are as per Spranger. And further, as per Allport trait theory of personality, Allport has defined that there are three types of trait of personality of the person. That's called as cardinal trait, central trait, at the same time secondary trait. Try to understand what is the cardinal trait. Cardinal trait is very hard in nature, and you can say that really operate you for behaving yourself in a situation. Okay? And the central trait are many a time you must have observed that a people is very peace living and very cordial in nature. Most of the time you will find that he deal the people and he deal the situation in a very cordial way, in a very peaceful way, because realizing the peace and practicing peace is the central trait of this person. Okay? But so far as cardinal trait is concerned, it is just contrary that many a time you will find that some people are very strict in their sense and they always practice the strictness, the rigidness you can say. But central trait is many a time the same principles they follow all over their dealing so far as their you can say academic life, their personal life, and their outward, their external life is concerned. Then the secondary trait is many a time it is difficult to understand that though a people is having very cardinal or very rigid in nature, but many a time you will find that the person is also in other situation the person is also behaving in a very cordial way. Okay? And try to convince the person, try to showing a type of liberal attitude. So these are called as the secondary trait. So these cardinal, central and the secondary trait, it regulates the person to react and to act in different situations. Then further, to give example about the psychoanalytic theory by Freud, Freud has given or defined personality in three different aspects. That's called as three different states of mind. That is because our behavior is all about the functioning of our mind, our mental process, the state of our mind. So here we have three states of mind, that is called as id, ego and superego. Id is called as the dark side of one's personality, dark side of one's thinking and behavior, and ego is some extent moral in nature. Okay? Ego is very realistic in nature, but id is not at all realistic. Okay? Id wants to immediate satisfaction. It may be at the cost of you can say one's peace, but ego always try to understand that where the person will get peace. Okay? So that's why you will find that within the mental operations, within the mental process, many a time a conflict goes between the id and ego. Id says that yes, I will do that. Ego says that no, we have to wait, we have to understand, we have to realize that what is the reality. So that is why a certain moral aspect is with ego, but in id there is the absence of the moral aspect. So that is why many a time person do many type of mischievous activities, many type of antisocial activities because of the dominance of id. Okay? So a conflict goes between a continuous conflict goes between id and ego. And super ego is very much social, very much you can say moral in nature. So super ego is always positive, always favorable, and always moral in nature. Okay? So the more in super ego with the individual, then the more control of that individual will be on his or her life. So accordingly, this concept of id, ego and super ego by Freud's psychoanalytic theory is also it also helps for developing and constructing personality of a person. Further, to focus upon Jung's and IGNOU classification of personality, I can give you 3 examples that is called as the introvert, extrovert and ambivert. Okay? So what is introvert? Many a time you must have observed that many of your friends, they like to live within. Okay? That means they are very much introvert in nature, they are very much self-centered in nature, and they never like to express themselves. Rather, they like to live within themselves, and they are not talkative, and they never create friends. If they have 1 or 2 friends, and they always try to live with very limited friendship. But at the contrary, you will find a group of people in this world, they are very much extrovert in nature. That means they want to express themselves. They have the attitude, they have the behavior to create friends. They have the behavior and attitude to express themselves and also to exhibit themselves in different stage, in different situation. And at the same time, you will also find that a majority of the population in this world, in our society, they are really ambivert in nature. Now try to understand what is ambivert. Ambivert is called as that's called as ubhaymukhi. It means the person who behaves as per the situation. Many a time an ambivert person become introvert as per the need, as per the demand of the situation, and at the other time the ambivert person can also exhibit, can also show a type of extrovert behavior. So that is why ambivert personality includes the introvert behavior, introvert type of behavior, and at the same time the extrovert types of behavior. It includes 2 types of behavior. Further, now let us focus upon the measurement of personality. So how we can measure, how we can assess personality. We can measure personality and we can describe personality by using 2 different techniques. One is called as the projective technique, whereas other technique is called as the non-projective technique. Now let us try to understand that what are the different projective techniques can be used so far as measurement of personality. First of all, we can use Rorschach's ink blood test, that is called as RIT, Rorschach's ink blood test. So this is a type of test that on a piece of paper, it will plot a few drops of ink, and if you will fold that paper, then if you will open that paper, you will find that there will be a type of shape from the ink. Okay, and if you ask the person that what is the shape of the ink, shape of how the shape is looks like, many a time you will find that the subject will say that this is just like an animal, or it is just like a type of tree. So by analyzing the response of the subject, we can say that what type of personality the person is. I am not going through the detail, I am just putting the name so that in future in higher studies you can also use these techniques and you can analyze to know what type of personality the person is having. Then another is called as the thematic apperception test, that is called as TAT, thematic apperception test. That means a theme will given or basing upon certain aspect, if you will ask somebody to develop a theme, to write a theme, and by analyzing the theme we can also understand that what type of personality the person is having. Then sentence completion technique. So we can give the half filled sentences to the subject and we will try to fill it by them, complete it by them. So when they will complete it, we can understand that what is their ideas, what is their thinking process. Then accordingly they are just completing the sentences. So by understanding, by going through, by analyzing the sentences, we can also understand that what type of personality the person is having. Further, behavioral and cognitive assessment is also another technique. Then bodily assessment and personal facts are also come under the projective technique. Under non-projective technique, I can take the example, many a time by interviewing the subject, interviewing the students, we can also find out that what type of thinking process the person is having and what type of personality the person is having. And many a time in the classroom, teacher observe the students. By observing also we can assess behavior, we can understand about the personality pattern of a person. Then rating scale, we can use a type of 5-point rating scale, a 7-point rating scale. Then personality inventory, we can prepare a type of personality inventory. Then self-reporting techniques can also be used. Now let us focus upon some of the educational implications of personality. Teachers should create an atmosphere inside the class so that students develop interpersonal communication skills. So it is the duty of the teacher that how the teacher is using the students and developing a type of interpersonal communication skills. Then teachers should provide opportunities in the school to express themselves, okay, and they should get equal opportunities, you can say. Then personality development programs can also be integrated with the curriculum so that the students will develop the scholastic activities. At the same time, they will also able to construct and develop their own personality. Further, peer and group activities should be organized in the schools. Leadership quality among the students should be developed by assigning different types of activities. You can say it may be project, it may be field related activities, okay, so that the students will involve themselves in different activities. Further, a democratic environment should be created for proper personality development of the students. All students should be given opportunity to express themselves. Friends, now I am just focusing upon some of the questions and I am hopeful that you will be able to answer these questions. You can consider these questions are for your practice. First of all, what are the different socio-psychological attributes? Explain the concept of personality as a socio-psychological attribute. Explain the types and theories of personality. Then discuss techniques of measurement of personality. Then further discuss educational implications of personality as a socio-psychological attribute. Friends, in our next lesson we will be discussing other topic. Thank you.